Right, so today we have a bit of a different video. It's a video I've kind of wanted to do for a while. So if you've been following the channel at all, it doesn't really matter if you have or not. I've started my own Creative Club career mode. So it's a thing that people have been wanting to be added to FIFA for a long time. They haven't because they're EA. But if you have the PC version, it's something you can do yourself. Masterbox has done it, Nose has done one, he did a tutorial himself, so go check that out as well. I'll be linking it in the description, probably will be better than mine. I say it's a tutorial, but I'm not really going to be exactly like showing you how to do things, but don't click off. I'm just going to kind of be telling you how, because I myself, I'm no modding whiz. I'm not in any way a modding expert, but I did it, so I'm doing one now, as I just mentioned, I'm doing that series, and I also made one in FIFA 20, and it's really not that different. They're practically the same, the process at least. It's just I didn't do a series last time. It's just kind of something for fun on my own time, but pretty much I really didn't do it for a long time because I figured it was too hard, it was too difficult. A lot of people immediately assume it is, but if you have the PC version, you want to do it, I highly recommend just giving it a crack. It's loads of fun if you figure it out, and it's just lots of trial and error, lots of patience. I do not think I can do it, and just give it a crack, because if an idiot like me can do it, you can probably give it a solid chance. So there's a few things, a few names I'm gonna give. So FIFER and then Arethiel. Or Arethiel, I'm not exactly sure it's pronounced. I'll leave the link in the description nonetheless though. So FIFER is kind of like, if you're not really in the modding community, I'm not like a massive modder like I said, but FIFER is kind of like the very top, kind of legend in the modding community. So there are loads of tutorials on his video, which I will be referencing and which I will be leaving in the description if you want to do this yourself. It's very straightforward. There's a Discord server, I'll leave the links to them as well. So when you're doing this whole Creative Club thing, the basic parts, you have your kits, you have importing the kits in the game, and then you have changing the team crest and changing the team name, because it's called create a club, but you're not actually physically creating a club, you're just replacing existing one in the game. Usually I replaced Barry last year because they weren't, or some people did Bolton because they weren't that like high profile in real life. I did Barrow this year just because they were the lowest rated team in England, and I wanted to do a League 2 to glory. So you're just replacing a team. That's an important thing. So with the kits, so one of the most exciting parts, one of my favorite part, is making your own kits, designing your own kits, because, I mean, football kits, people like football kits, obviously, and a lot of people design, and so just to be able to make your own design, put it in the game with your own sponsors, is just a really fun and exciting thing. So to do this, there's Arethiel. He made his own kit generator. I'll leave that video. So you can use his kit generator if you want. When I started out, it's very good to learning how to do the normals, the colors, the co-ops, because there's different parts of importing kit, which will all be explained. And it's in Photoshop. So you will need that if you want to use a kit generator, but you don't necessarily need Photoshop for the next one. And even if you don't necessarily want to use his kit generator, because one of the softwares he used no longer supports FIFA 21, but there is one. So he uses Frosty editor in it. So Frosty was FIFA 20, FIFA 19, I believe, before that. Now, Frosty no longer supports FIFA, so it's the FIFA Editor Tool. They're exactly the same. The colors are different. It was made by, but if you can use Frosty and understand it, you can use the Editor Tool. So even if you're not going to necessarily use Arethiel's kit generator, which you don't have to, there's other ones out there, I still recommend watching the video because it's a very good tutorial. It's about an hour long, but it just breaks it down to a bunch of good parts and just a really good intro to using kits, importing them, using the software and all that. And then there's also, I'll leave a link to it, it's called FIFA 21 Kit Creator. It's a website. It's kind of more, I feel like if you want to do stuff on your own terms and stuff, you can use Arethiel's kit generator. It's absolutely brilliant. I'm not trying to put one over the other. They're both brilliant. They're both different. The FIFA 21 kit creator is kind of more like mainstream, I kind of want to say. You can use kind of patterns of your favorite teams if you want to use the current templates and stuff for like the current Nike and Adidas kits this year. If you want to use patterns from, let's say, Bayern's home shirt last year, there's absolutely loads of patterns you can browse. In I use the free version. There is a premium version, but I use the free version. It's I'm not saying like don't buy if you don't want to, but if you don't want to spend money, I'm not saying you have to. The free version is absolutely great. It does the job. You can browse patterns, graphics, and stuff. You can't really add like badges and sponsors necessarily right to the kits, but you can just go into Photoshop and do that yourself. That's what I do, and that works brilliantly. So I'll leave a link to that. And then, so once you make your kits, if you want to use Arethiel's kit generator, or if you want to use the FIFA Editor Tool, you're going to import them. So I mentioned this briefly. So last year it was Frosty Editor. So pretty much this opens all the files, and there's multiple different types of files. For FIFA, there's the textures. So pretty much when you're importing a kit, there's the color. So that's like what you make in Photoshop or whatever. That's like what the kit will look like. So if you want to do like a purple kit with like a white stripe across it, that will, you make that in Photoshop, that's the color. Then there's the coef and the normal. And what they added recently, which isn't in Arethiel's kit generator because it's from last year, but it is in the FIFA Editor Tool, that is the TAA. So the normal, the TA, and the coef, they help with the texture. So if you ever notice in FIFA, you'll zoom in on like maybe a Liverpool kit and you'll see the textures from the night patterns this year, and you'll kind of see the gleam. That's what you get from the normals, the coefs, the TAs. You need to import them. And when you download something off the FIFA kit creator, it gives you everything. It gives you a mini kit and all. Mini kits I do recommend using the FIFA kit creator. Maybe if you're starting out, I know I said for beginners you could use the Arethiel kit generator, but I mean, I think for beginners there's pros to both of them, because I think mini kits are a bit more complicated in the kit generator, but kind of the basic fundamentals of the kits might be a little simpler. And when you could get a little lost in the menus of FIFA kit creator, it's straightforward, just there's a lot of things. I think you just have to mess about with it, you get the hang of it. Then you can download it and all that, and that works out nicely. So another thing, so you replace the kit, so you import them over it. So and I'll leave the tutorials, they will explain in depth. This is just a brief kind of going over. So you'll say you want to replace Barrow or Harrogate Town, because they're the lowest rated teams in England. So you'll just search Harrogate or Barrow, and then you'll find their home kit, and you can click on it and you hit import, and then you just import your kit over it, the coef over it, the normal, and all that will be explained in the links I'm leaving. I'll just check the description, I'll leave all of it. So then after you have your kits in the game, you're going to want to change your crest. So your crest is something you can make in Photoshop. Usually what I'll do, if I want the shape, so if I want like an Arsenal badge shape or a circular one, I'll just search like Arsenal, Chelsea badge, throw that in Photoshop, color fill over it, and I'm not like amazing at Photoshop either. Just color fill over, add a few graphics, add some text, some things you want. So once you have that, and this will be, FIFER did a really good video on this. So once you have that, you'll want to, there's a lot of different dimensions. Because you think about the FIFA, there's all the different menus and all that. There are crests on the shirts, there's crests on banners, there's crests in the menus, there's crests on flags. So there's lots of different size crests, and there's this website you can do that. That will be later explained in FIFER's video. So you just want to find where the crests are and just replace all of them with the your club's badges. Replace the existing one. So then, if you want to watch FIFER's tutorial and Arethiel's tutorial, they will be showing it on Frosty, but you're gonna have to do it on the FIFA 21 Editor Tool. But if he tells you to do something on Frosty, you can do it in FIFA Editor Tool. It'll work just the same. They're practically the same thing. So then maybe the most complicated part of this is changing a club name. It's not that complicated. So FIFER did a good video on this. So pretty much, you have to have this program called DB Master, Database Master. So all the text you see on the menus, on the screens on FIFA, they're on this little table in DB Master, which you can export from the FIFA Editor Tool. So you take that, you go into DB Master, then you have to search the name strings in the certain column, and the FIFER video will tell you that. And FIFER leaves a link for a website where you kind of know what to search. So you'll have to search like, I think, team name ID and then the club ID, so then in the tables and all that. So that will lead you to an abbreviation, but he just says in the FIFE video, he pretty much just says, okay, copy and paste these. The link didn't work last time I checked it, but you can just type it in and it works. One thing to note, because DB Master was when I first did it last year, the kind of most frustrating part is not every single club is going to have every single thing. So especially if you replace a smaller club like Barrow or Harrogate, they're not going to have as many abbreviations as Liverpool or United or Barca. Just because it's not as needed. So just keep that in mind, and don't feel frustrated if something doesn't count for every single one. Just double check it and replace everything you can. Sometimes even what I'll do, it is a bit tedious, but I'll copy the table, I'll put it in a Google spreadsheet, I'll do Control F and search the name, then I'll find the column it's in and find that on DB Master, which is a bit tedious, but probably stop hitting my mic. But that is a bit another way to get around it if need be. So again, go watch those tutorials. I know you will want to skip through them sometimes if you think, but just watch them through. You can always watch them back again, skip to the parts you need afterwards. So pretty much just gonna need to make your kits, put them in, and then once you do the kits, then doing the badges is quite easy. Then doing the name is just kind of the final step. So in conclusion, I'm not a modding whiz. I just figured if I did create the club myself, because I think me and kind of a lot of other people, like me last year, kind of wanted to create a club, but thought it's probably loads of effort. And I just want to say, don't let that hold you back. And as someone that created the club myself and kind of seeing how fun it is, I just want to kind of let you know, give you, kind of curate the tools you need to do it so you can do it successfully. And then in any questions, there's the modding community is absolutely great. All the Discord servers, that's all good. So you can just leave your questions in there. Some of the comments I'll try to respond to, but again, I'm not a modding whiz. It's just, I just can't really get the point across enough. I'm not like, I'm not looking to show you, I just kind of want to tell you how, because I think it is fun, and I think it is relatively easy to do, and I think there is a way. And I see loads of people asking in the descriptions videos, oh, can you do a full tutorial, like asking the modders, can you do like a full tutorial of how to create a club? So I figured I'll just give it to you, just kind of tell you how to do it, give you the tools you need, hopefully so you can do it. So I really hope this is helpful. I'm not just saying that. Again, leave any questions or comments in the Discord service. I'll leave all the links in the description. Yeah, happy modding. And if you want to check out my Creative Club series, feel free to do that. Maybe stick around if you want. So yeah, see ya.